The Natasha that we saw in Infinity War and Endgame is actually Yelena.
And moving forward, Yelena will be this expert Skrull hunter.
She'll get resurrected after Endgame. They'll give her the super soldier serum.
I'm friends with the Avengers. I'm friends with Captain America. I'm friends with Iron Man. Rest in peace. I'm friends with Scarlett Johansson.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. Black Widow is confirmed to pass the baton to Florence Pugh, a baton she never got from her older sis Jo in Little Women, and now she's getting it in the MCU. Yes, guys, I do sometimes watch other movies, and Little Women reminded me of my sisters and of my neighbor who looked a lot like Timothee Chalamet. It charmed me in all kinds of ways. Hey, this is Rogue Theory. I'm Erik Voss, reclaiming my time in the hosting chair from our man, our bottom line, Tommy Bechtold.
Yes. Great to be back in the panelist seat. Much more relaxing. I was so excited that I shaved for today's show. And I wish you all the best of luck today.
Hopefully used one of our 8 different grooming sponsors on this channel to do it. But none of them are sponsoring this episode, so we won't mention them until they pay us.
I actually used ExpressVPN to shave my face.
Somehow it works to get a real close shave there. Also returning to the show is comedian and one-time Nick Fury cosplayer in a live scroll search bit in my self-canceled variety show, Erik Owusu. Welcome back, buddy.
Hey, everybody. I trimmed my beard today with Bang Energy can. So
yeah.
Thanks for that. Thanks, Bang.
Somehow these things work in all kinds of ways. And of course, our friend and Tobey Maguire stan, Angelica Trae.
Hi, I too was so excited that I shaved today.
Black Widow director Kate Shortland revealed in an interview that Black Widow won't merely reunite Scarlett Johansson, Natasha Romanov with an old frenemy, Florence Pugh, Yelena Belova, but confirmed that the baton will be passed to Florence Pugh and propel her on her own storyline in the MCU's future. This is a huge deal because we knew Natasha died in Endgame, but there have been, all kinds of theories that Black Widow could somehow resurrect Scarlett Johansson in some crazy multiverse-related way, some bonkers explanation that I've probably made a dozen videos about. But now it is pretty clear that Florence Pugh is going to be taking the reins. She's landing the bird. It's exciting times. So I want you 3 to pitch me on how exactly this movie, Black Widow, is going to pass the torch, the baton, to set up Florence Pugh to take over the mantle in the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. All right, Tommy, what's your theory, my man?
My theory, we all know in the movie Black Widow, we're looking to see, in the beginning at least, Natasha and Yelena are going to face off. But I believe by the end of the movie, they will literally have a face-off, in that their faces will change. They will saw each other's faces off and trade them like they're Derek Jeter baseball cards, and the year is 1998. So, here's what I think. They're gonna swap faces. The Natasha that we saw in Infinity War and Endgame is actually Yelena. So this would explain why Nat's vest in Infinity War is the same vest Florence Pugh is wearing in the Black Widow trailer. Also, it explains the blonde hair switch. I know, stay with me, guys. Okay, I know this is out there.
You got some interesting evidence. I want to see where you're going.
For those of you already typing a comment, I ask you to pause for a moment, okay? All right. So the Black Widow we all know and love, basically, is the same person until Civil War. After which point, that Black Widow now lives in Florence Pugh's body. And what an experience that we would all like, to spend a day or a few years in Florence Pugh's body, right? So, the Red Skull, let's see, on Vormir makes the line, he says, this is Natasha, son. That's a whole other face-off. This is Natasha, daughter of Ivan, and Natasha doesn't really understand that. She doesn't recognize that name. I know what you're going to say, Erik. I can see you ramping up. You're going to say that the sacrifice doesn't mean as much if it's Yelena actually sacrificing herself and not Nat, to which I say,
that's right.
Maybe not, okay? Because we will learn in Black Widow, I think, that Clint and Yelena also had a friendship, which would explain why Natasha, in the Infinity War Endgame movies, remembers Budapest differently, because it's not actually Nat, it's Yelena. Her experience in Budapest with Hawkeye is very different. That's why she remembers it differently, but they're still good friends. her sacrifice, Clint losing her still means something to him, okay? They have a separate friendship. Men can be friends with multiple women, okay? I know a lot of girls that I've dated haven't understood that, but sometimes the free bird's got to fly, okay? You got to have a flock, all right? So let me explain. All this underscores, all right, the reason they would switch, okay, is this underscores how the Red Room really stripped away the souls of these people and their identities and turned them into these killing machines. And now both Natasha and Yelena will do anything to remove the red morality sins in their ledger and move towards redemption. So Yelena taking the place of Nat is in a way a redemption for her. And then, you know, the soul and spirit of Natasha, as I said, up until the Civil War movies, will live on in Florence Pugh's Yelena. What a delightful solution for one actor looking to exit a franchise and another actor looking to expand in a franchise. I yield the remainder of my time to Buffalo Bills highlights.
Yeah, Tommy, you have explained and illustrated this whole idea of the face swap concept in a much more thorough way. Because, you know, I brought this up in a couple videos before, but I kind of just like softball lobbed it. Like, I don't really know how this would work in the future of the MCU. But like the stuff you pointed out about Endgame does make total sense, right? The sacrifice, while when you first bring up this idea that the Natasha that we saw in those two movies is actually, you know, the identity of Florence Pugh's character, it doesn't cheapen it as long as they do what they need to do in this movie and reframe that with like a quick, simple montage. Just because we haven't seen it on film yet doesn't mean that Yelena Belova's character hasn't had this long history with Clint Barton that could reframe those moments on Vormir as even more emotional. Like, there's been 5 years through the blip in which who knows what their relationship could have been, a decade before that in which she could have had some other kind of friendship with her. And like the Black Widow as a title could apply to several different characters. He could have like a sistership bond with both Natasha and Yelena, and that could be something that this movie reveals and reframes the moments of, you know, in that moment of Endgame as something even more impactful and meaningful. The fact that one person would be able to like give up their own life just because it isn't Natasha Romanov doesn't mean it's not a beautiful sacrifice that breaks your heart. And that might explain why we didn't see her funeral in Endgame and all these other kind of questions we have about her. And yeah, this could be something that's really cool. And it is something that happens in the comics, this idea of the face-off, even though it seems ridiculous when you mention it. All right, for your point rewards, I have to come up with some new way to do it. I wanted to do shots of vodka, as they do in the trailer, but we're out of vodka. All we have is gin. And gin is it's a London beverage. I think that'd be very insulting to our Russian watchers. So instead, I'm gonna do something that's even more painful to do shots of Bang Energy, who did not sponsor this episode, but their Star Blast flavor, not my favorite flavor. So in order to not get also too hammered for all the work I gotta do after we tape this, and I've gushed about your theory way too much, but I'm gonna gush this Bang in my mouth
Yeah.
of two shots. Gush it in.
Two gushers of a
Okay.
Bang. Nice.
Oh, and you know, I made the
Gush that
mistake.
Bang.
This is a big shot glass. This is a miniature Guinness pint glass, and I've been doing full ones of it. So you guys all have double points.
Those are
Let's sing with that one.
double shots. Oh no. Oh God.
Yeah, you're also not sleeping tonight, boss, so
That's
have
right.
fun with that.
Or I'll be sleeping forever.
Oh,
no,
God.
I won't be waking up. To
No.
Okay, hear me out. So I think that just based off of the trailer, Yelena is somehow, she's probably going to die at some point, and maybe she'll get resurrected after Endgame. Like, I don't know, maybe they'll give her the super soldier serum or something like that.
Ooh.
And then she'll come back and sort of resume the Black Widow legacy, you know? I think that she's going to end up doing some sort of martyr situation with Taskmaster between, you know, the current, you know, Natasha Romanov, and she's going to sacrifice herself, and it's going to be really heartfelt and really sad, and we're going to think that's the end of her, and then we're gonna see her again, and I'm pretty excited to see more Black Widow, so
Yes.
I'm here for it.
And I love that the idea of using the super soldier serum to do this. I mean, we do have those shots in the trailer of someone, doing the thing where they flick the syringe, because you always got to flick it just to make sure the flow's nice. Got to flick it first. And Thunderbolt Ross is tying into this, and we know from the first Hulk movie the second Hulk movie, the first MCU Hulk movie, that guy's been like tinkering with super soldier serum from the beginning. So that'd be like an interesting, deeper layer to his history, that maybe he's involved with like the super soldier serum. Now I have to ask Trae, what do you think is next? What's this new storyline she's being propelled on in the MCU? Is it just going to be like more spy shit?
I definitely think it's going to be more spy stuff. I think a lot of it's going to be reestablishing Black Widow now with this new identity. Everyone talking about Natasha and things like that, and her just sort of establishing herself, maybe everyone dealing with the grief of it. And it's going to be a little clunky, it might be a little awkward, but yeah, I think it's just going to be a lot more spy stuff, maybe training and her trying to prove herself.
So I will give you one bang shot, Angelica, for your theory.
Woo!
Yeah, knock it back.
Woo!
Ooh, Is it
cold? Is it lukewarm?
It's lukewarm, because I took it out this morning, and I meant to do that thing where you wrap a wet paper towel on it and kind of freeze nuke it in the freezer for 15 minutes, and forgot to do that. So it's all right. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt at the end. All right, who's next?
All right, so Natasha is going to pass off the mantle to Yelena of the leader of the Red Room. She's just going to shed that entirely, because in the comics, Natasha is famous for being the best assassin to come out of the Red Room training facility in Russia or wherever the hell they had that be filmed, where it was cheap for production. And Yelena in the comics is an expert at getting information from people. So she's good at seeing if people are double-crossing or if they're double agents, what have you. She's like the best friend of a person who's dating somebody that might be shady, and she can find out everything she needs to know through their Instagram. So, Yelena, I think, will have a battle with the Taskmaster. Because the Taskmaster, what I think, his real agenda is unveiling the secret invasion that's coming with the Skrull. I think he's on to what Nick Fury has going on with the Skrull in some way, shape, or form. And his big thing is he wants to use all this Avengers fighting moves and technology to kind of pull back the curtain on what's going on with the Skrull and Nick Fury. So Yelena will be tasked with trying to break him down for information. And moving forward, Yelena will be this expert Skrull hunter whose only mission in life is to find out who Skrull really are and to uncover and stop this invasion of alien green people.
I love that, Woo Woo. For everyone who didn't know, Erik Voss and I used to be on a sketch team, and we all had these dumb pet names for each other, and Owusu was Woo Woo. So I might accidentally call him Woo Woo sometimes. But here's why I love it, because one thing that I'm, a little concerned about going into what we'll probably see a Secret Invasion storyline in the MCU's future is like Natasha Romanov was such a big part of that. Like she was the one who's like, you know what? If you want to figure out who's a Skrull, just shoot them. Shoot them through the leg. If they bleed green, they're a Skrull. Shoot first, ask questions later. With Natasha presumably dead in the MCU, I would love if Yelena Belova can play that part. Like she's the instrumental badass in a Secret Invasion storyline where people are like, well, we know this one person who's going to lead the anti-Skrull campaign, because like the way the Skrull are set up in the MCU, right? It's like they're friendly. So you can imagine there'd be kind of like another sort of civil war over whether the Skrulls are good guys or bad guys, and she can be on the side of like, look, I've been trained my entire life to determine if someone's like lying to you, if they're a double agent, if they're deceitful. Trust me, I'll take care of it. And people rally to that side. Yeah, Florence Pugh, I think, would have a ton of fun with that role. So do you think Taskmaster is trying to expose it? Is he like a conspiracy theorist who like has watched every bit of media of every Avengers level event, and he's like, wait, there's a little green guy, like Joaquin Phoenix in Signs, like there's a green dude in the background, like, whoa! They're covering it up. I'm gonna bring down every, spy agency who's been hiding this from humanity. I'm gonna blow it open. Like, is that the kind of guy we're talking about here?
He could be, because social media and YouTube type things exist in this MCU world, so he could have just watched a bunch of footage and seeing some Skrull in the background kind of morphing and changing into other people. But what I think is something a little deeper. So the actor playing the character Rick Mason in the movie Black Widow is supposed to be this actor named O.T. Fogbennel, I think is his name. Fans, don't come after me, don't dox me. So O.T. Fogbennel plays this character Rick Mason, so he might be Taskmaster, but he also might be Nick Fury's son. So as a cast aside son who's angry at his pops for always being a double agent, always absentee, always lying to everybody, that could be his big mission in this movie, is to take down his father's cooperative mission with the Skrull and stop the secret invasion.
That is awesome, Woo-Woo, because you gotta imagine, like, there's so much about Nick Fury's life that we don't know. And we saw at the end of Captain Marvel, he's just like eating dinner with some Skrulls. Like, it's established that as in the mid-90s, he just had this relationship with them. And then in Far From Home, like, all the way to like 2023, he's been working with them behind the scenes. I'm going to give you, which I'm regretting doing this, but three shots a bag.
All right,
three shots?
Ooh.
Your poor pancreas. I mean, your lucky pancreas.
One. Two.
Yeah.
Woo! Voss,
three.
Voss.
Oh. I actually wish it was vodka. All right, well, these are some great theories. We're going to move on with some people who helped us make this episode. Thanks to today's sponsor, AdamandEve.com. So Adam and Eve says the best part of staying at home is playing at home. All of this downtime gives us some time to get down. Have any of you tried Adam and Eve before? This is a pretty classy service to help you feel a little less classy once you get in those sheets.
Or the couch.
Or the couch.
Or the kitchen table.
Or a tent
on
in
the
your
counter.
Backyard. Yeah, tent in your backyard.
Ooh, hammock.
In the corner, in the shower, wherever Shaggy did it.
Oh, yeah.
Adam and Eve's there.
I was thinking cartoon Shaggy, and that was a different image.
The Mystery Machine, wherever you want to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, Scoobs! Oh,
Zoinks!
Raggy, you're naked.
Well, you can take advantage of this downtime and choose almost any item from AdamandEve.com at 50% off. When you do, you'll also get 10 free boredom-busting gifts, including 6 spicy movies, a 3-piece bonus kit, and best of all, free shipping delivered discreetly to your front door, because this is something that might get left on your front door and you don't want your weird neighbor knowing what you're getting delivered. It's not like every other Amazon package, this one's special and more essential than, the jumbo size bag of Starburst that you ordered. This one will give you all kinds of new type of sweetness. Sweet Adam and Eve.
Oh, they'll be bursts, Eric. They just won't be Starburst.
You'll remember forever.
Also, Starbursts are essential, I'll have you know.
That's true.
Sure, all right. For sure, agreed. All shopping at home is more convenient right now, and shopping for adult stuff is much more convenient. You don't want things to get too awkward with the FedEx guy you've recently become best friends with. Just remember to use offer code THEORY, that's THEORY, at checkout. Adam and Eve has thousands of products to make you glad you are staying at home. Go to AdamandEve.com and use that offer code THEORY.
That was a spicy read.
Yeah.
Also, we want to thank our friends at ExpressVPN.
Damn.
See, sometimes our online research for new Rockstars videos takes us into some questionable directions and questionable erections as a result. We've done entire videos on the sexual history of Hulk and Emperor Palpatine. Felt things I didn't want to feel. Well, it's times like those when it doesn't matter what mode you use or how many times you clear your browsing history, your internet service provider can still see every disgusting site that you visited. And that is why, whether you're at home or you're at work, we use ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN is an app that reroutes your internet connection through their secure servers so that your ISP can't see the sites you visit. ExpressVPN keeps all of your information secure by encrypting 100% of your data with the most powerful encryption available. ExpressVPN runs seamlessly in the background. You just tap one button and you are protected. And it's available on all your devices, phones, computers, smart TVs. Protect your online activity today with the VPN rated #1 by CNET and Wired. Visit my exclusive link, expressvpn.com/rogue, and you can get an extra 3 months free on a 1-year package. That's expressvpn.com/rogue, expressvpn.com/rogue to learn more.
Thanks, ExpressVPN.
Woo!
Now my secrets stay with me and me alone.
And they die with me after the end of this episode, probably. All right, moving on. Every week we play a game of Rogue Theory with our patrons on the New Rockstars Discord server. This week we had some patrons pitch theories about how an existing MCU villain could return. Jay Stender and Dr. Zoidberg had some really, really great theories, but it was our buddy, that MCU guy, who was the winner. May wondering why I'm wearing this shirt. He gave me this shirt. He designed this last time I trust someone. Oh, that's a nice shirt. He's a great guy, big supporter of ours for a while now, and he pitched a really fun theory that Iron Man 2 villain Justin Hammer is behind-the-scenes collaborator of Taskmaster and Dreykov and Black Widow. They also found the way to tie in the elements from Luke Cage and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., since I think he was, at the same prison. He was at Seagate, right? So he's at, he's there. I just love this idea of getting Sam Rockwell back into the MCU and find another way to get that guy dancing on screen. Because we saw him in Fosse Verdon. The guy loves to cut the rug. He can move. And get Justin Hammer back in there. He's been around. Why hasn't he been back? It's time. It's time.
Hammer time.
As some might say. It was right there. It was right there. How did I miss it?
Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's right.
Well, all of you watching can play as well. Have your theory read on an episode of Rogue Theory by becoming a patron at patreon.com/newrockstars. All right, moving on. We just learned that Marvel Studios is sadly sitting out of the Comic-Con at Home online event, meaning that Kevin Feige is planning on announcing things like Black Widow, Falcon Winter Soldier on Disney+, maybe even a Fantastic Four reboot movie separately, doing his own thing, and unfortunately couldn't announce this before we uploaded a video predicting Marvel's Comic-Con panel details confirmed. But assuming that Feige will now make these big future announcements his own way, because the future's coming one way or another, I want you guys to pitch me the wildest dream announcement for the MCU that you would lose your shit over if Feige were to drop it in his own non-Comic-Con online panel.
I have been thinking about the Disney's acquisition of Fox and how that opened up all of these new avenues for them to explore the Marvel Universe. And the biggest thing to me has been the X-Men. Like, how were they going to do the X-Men? There was just an X-Men movie a year ago, Dark Phoenix. So, to me, I think the big announcement is going to be a TV show, an X-Men Disney Plus TV series. I think they're going to do kind of almost where the cartoon in the 90s took off. They're going to kind of recreate that vibe, a very fun, very lighthearted, but still action-packed Disney Plus obviously millions and millions of dollar budget. Same with Mandalorian, the way they did Mandalorian TV show, that they can then, they take the pressure away of recasting. We assumed they'd recast a TV show version of this, and then if those characters work well, they can integrate them into the MCU immediately. There doesn't have to be an X-Men reboot 4 years down the line. We can have an X-Men TV show next year that brings those characters into the MCU immediately. So the thing that would make me happiest, aside from Howard the Duck and Spider-Ham teaming up, would be an X-Men TV show, and hell, make it a sitcom like Saved by the Bell and have it be a school-themed X-Men TV show. That's my theory.
Just Quicksilver going, time out, and just runs real fast.
Quicksilver is very, very problematic, very, very mean, revealed to be a real scumbag.
I would love to see that, because honestly, I mean, I think I was a teenager, or like preteen, when the first X-Men movie came out, and I remember wanting to go to Xavier Institute. I was like, I want to be here. I want to have mutant powers, and I would daydream about talking to like Iceman or something. So yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, a lot of us had daydreams about Iceman. Sean Ashmore, Animorphs, that guy, he can do anything. But hey,
it always comes back to Animorphs with you.
I find a way to get it back home.
By the way,
I land this bird.
Tobias, I'm still on record. You f***ed up, son. You shouldn't have become an eagle. You shouldn't, or falcon, or whatever.
Red-tailed hawk. Red-tailed. All right, let's get back to this Kevin Feige possible announcement. Who wants to go next?
So I've been noticing lately villains are getting pretty popular, and the relatable villain is getting very, very popular, and we're starting to see a lot of media centralized around these villain characters. I was thinking, what if we got like a Killmonger movie or show? Yeah? Yeah, everyone loves Killmonger. And so we could potentially have it where we thought he died, but he's actually alive. And similar to Tommy, we could wrap in or tie in all of the X-Men, universe into it, because in X-Men Forever, Killmonger actually teams up with an evil Storm. And so, yeah, how much would you want to see that? So, like, a Killmonger show or movie, and then you could tie in Evil Storm and have that sort of plot going in, and you tie in the X-Men that way. I would love to see that. I think everyone would be open to it. And we love the relatable villain. Villains are so hot right now.
Yeah, and so is Michael B. Jordan. I mean, that you could do something like he gets resurrected somehow. They had him buried in the ocean, and maybe the Atlanteans resurrect him. Or you could do a prequel of how he got the name Killmonger and like what this guy was doing before the events of Black Panther. Because he's been on a ton of missions. He has all these scars for each of his kills. Or am I get that wrong?
Yeah.
Or they did that? Yeah, like he's great.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
And I can just imagine Kevin Feige, like in this live stream, being like, "Oh, well, you thought you were done with Michael B. Jordan." He was like, "Hey, Michael, you want to come back in?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm here. Let's do this again." And it's Kevin Feige.
He's
and
back.
and
Yeah, I just want to see
why
more
does-
longer.
Why does Kevin Feige
I don't
sound like
know.
Jimmy Stewart?
wow.
wow.
You want the moon? Last saw the moon for you. Here we go. The moon, it's got Killmonger on. That's where he's been. All right, Owusu, what do you got?
I have got definitely accolades for Angelica's pitch. That's awesome. I would love to see Killmonger in another movie.
Yeah.
But for me, what I think Kevin Feige is going to bless us with is a character movie that we've been waiting for, we've been itching for. Fans of the Civil War comics have wanted forever. They teed this character up, super mysterious at the end of Guardians Volume 2. We are getting an Adam Warlock movie. It's happening. That's what Kevin Feige's going to announce. He's going to come out of that gold sarcophagus thing and f shit up in the MCU. And he's going to have some conflict with the Skrull. I'm all about the Skrull today. They are my public enemy number one, so Adam Warlock's going to go to war with the Skrull, and it's going to be some cartoon Infinity Saga stuff, or comic book Infinity Saga stuff, mixed in with Secret Invasion stuff, on our TV screens, and hopefully one day movie theater screens, in Ultra 4K IMAX. It's going to be fantastic. And here's my wild pitch. Adam Warlock is going to be played by none other than a Marvel-trained, beefed-up Timothee Chalamet. Bringing it full circle. They're going to make him Adam Warlock. They're going to give him blonde locks. It's going to be fantastic.
Okay.
Ooh, little boy Adam Warlock. Oh man,
He's like
that's
24 right now, so by the time they do it, he's like an adult-ish.
He's forever 15.
Yeah, that works.
He doesn't age. He's one of the vampires who is cursed as a child and just stays a child forever. There's old Civil War photos of Timothee Chalamet.
Yep. Right next to Robert Pattinson from like 1863.
Right. Yeah, they're all children. I do love that. Let's see. I will award one of you. Tommy, I think I have to award you because I do want to see a live-action X-Men. Yes. So you will get the bang shot, which feels like a shot. Yeah, real shot. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, you're right. I'm never going to sleep, and my heart is now beating 3 times as fast. I'm like what would happen if the Grinch's heart really did grow that big. It would burst out of his chest, and he'd cough up blood and die.
No. All right, okay.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. But all can change as we move on to Rogue Questions. Are you seeing blood vessels burst in my eye?
Are you okay?
Yeah, we're worried about you, dude.
I can breathe. I can do this. I'm gonna land this bird. All right. Rogue question number 1. There's a new virtual escape room themed off of the 90s pop song Mambo No. 5 by Lou Bega, where they make the lyrics scary by making all of the names he lists his victims. Oh my God. I'm really just reading this for the first time now. What other hit pop song could be easily made scary?
I've got one.
Right.
Does everyone know Alicia Keys' Girl on Fire?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if...
Oh no.
No. This, not what you think. Not what you think.
Okay.
So what if she was like a pyromaniac arsonist?
Oh.
It's like, this girl is on fire. And she's just like setting everything on fire and like, yeah. Definitely not about.
I do love it.
Yeah, no.
I thought it was like a witch being burned at the stake. That's what she sings, so she screams.
As soon as you said that, I realized that, and I was like, here, let's just take that imagery out of your mind. She's an arsonist, way lighter.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, my mind definitely went to another place. I thought it was a Adam and Eve product gone wrong, and the girl was on fire.
Well,
It burns.
we don't kink shame here.
No.
We don't
not
kink
at all.
shame.
Not
We
at
certainly
That's
all.
do
right.
not.
If you like that hot wax, power to you.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
do it safely. Have a safe word.
If that's your thing, you know?
Safety first.
I've always been attracted to fires. Eric, I was going to say "Rock Your Body" by the Backstreet Boys, but you inspired me, Eric, earlier when you brought up the seminal Shaggy hit "It Wasn't Me," and I thought, what if there was an escape room where you play a private investigator trying to solve a marital problem by investigating where an affair took place. So, did they have the affair on the counter? No. Did they have it on camera? No. Did they have it in the shower? I don't know. Picture this. They were both buck naked, banging on the bathroom floor. That could be the answer. So you go through what I consider a sensible 2-bedroom condo, and looking for clues of where the sexual tryst occurred. It's all sponsored by Adam and Eve, so there's a tie-in here. And at the end of the day, you're treated to a socially distanced concert by Shaggy and other great artists of the 90s, including Darius Rucker and Jamiroquai. Jamiroquai will be there as well.
Woo!
And at the end,
I love that this is.
it's topped off by Alanis Morissette singing all of the songs from Jagged Little Pill. And in the end, the whole experience costs $40,000, and that's it.
And then Dave Coulier comes up and then cuts it out, it being your spleen.
Yes,
and then he just holds it, and that's what makes it scary.
Oh, does it have to be scary? I thought it just had to be an escape room. I'm sorry.
Well, it is supposed to be scary, but I do love the idea that nothing's scarier to Tommy than infidelity.
That's right.
What a frightening prospect.
Monogamy, to me, is the safest place.
All right, what do you got?
So, I think a virtual escape room with a scary song from the 90s. The song should be "What They Really Want" by DMX.
Oh,
so it's kind of a deep cut,
Yes.
but in the middle of the song, it's with Cisco, who was
Yes.
also the hottest thing on the planet in '99. The song came out in '99.
Was that from
Same year as
the
Mambo No. 5.
Romeo Must Die soundtrack?
Yes, it was with the movie of the Leah and
Yes,
Jet Li.
yes.
So, in the middle of that song, DMX just goes on a tear and just lists all the women he's dated in his neighborhood in his gravelly ass voice. So he's like, there was Brenda, Letitia, Linda, Felicia, Dawn, LaShawn, Inez, Alicia. And he just goes on and on with all these names. So I feel like if this song got the Jordan Peele treatment, the way he likes to like remix songs to make them scary for his movies, that would be super scary to hear echoing through an escape room, and every girl in there or every person in there who could be named Teresa or Brenda or LaShawn, which actually could be a dude's name too, would be extra terrified in this escape room. So yeah, What They Really Want by DMX.
I love that. I'm going to give 2 shots, so I'm just going to fill up this whole thing. 2 shots, 1 to Angelica, 1 to Woo Woo. Angelica, just because they both sang the song, and I wanted to hear the song, and they're actually scary. Sorry, Tommy, you had to be scary.
Also, Voss, your hands are shaking.
Just take.
It's because I'm so scared.
Just take a sip.
He's like, I'm fine.
All right, question number 2. Disney Plus downloads reportedly surged 72% last weekend with the release of Hamilton on the service. What kind of intellectual property crossover should Disney do to take advantage of their new streaming mega hit?
Simple. I got it. It's a Christmas spectacular. Burr! A Frozen story. Aaron Burr, now disgraced after the dueling death of Alexander Hamilton, is banished to Arendelle, where he meets up with Yolo, Olaf, Zoloft, Kiki, and the gang, and they go on. That's their names, right? I don't know Frozen very well. They they get together.
That was a good amount.
They go on a frozen adventure of both redemption and friendship. And at the end of the day, even in the coldest temperatures, the heart can grow warm when we work together.
That's not the theme of Frozen. That's okay.
I do. It is the theme of
beautiful.
Burr, a Frozen Christmas story.
I love Zoloft. Actually, is Olaf's depressed cousin who always has the snow cloud over his head. You can't get it off. Because with them at all times.
Oh, perfect.
So how about Hercules Mulligan teams up with Hercules?
Okay.
Yeah, just Hercules squared out here, and they form this amazing, just beautiful bond, because they're both such passionate characters. I really think that this relationship could go the distance.
Oh, very nice. And you know Disney Hercules is up in it, loving it, making the ladies say come again. Absolutely, with those biceps. Oh, yes, please. All right, well, what do you got?
All right, so I got the perfect Disney Hamilton crossover right here. It's a movie, or winter special, whatever have you, of the Schuyler sisters from Hamilton singing a duet or a bunch of duets with the muses from Hercules. Ooh. So kind of piggyback on Hercules.
Yeah.
So it's about these two groups of strong, boisterous women who have been relegated to the sidelines or to backing, Hercules and Hamilton. So in this one, they're front and center. It's their time to shine. They're singing. They're having adventures. They're talking trash. They're being silly. They're being fully fleshed out 3D characters. And since Hercules is the name of one of the titles and Hamilton's the name of one of their titles, their movie, the Schuyler sisters and the Muses, their movie's called Harmony.
Oh, I love that. And I can just picture those muses going and saying, "Ooh, you think you got it?" And Schuyler sisters are like, "Yeah, we think we got it." Yeah. And Owusu, I have to give you a point there because I know how much you actually dislike Hamilton or hate the craze of it.
Yes.
That was a real hurdle for you to jump.
Yeah, no, it killed me 3 times. It killed me more than the bang is killing you, but it had to be done for this episode.
You did it. For those of you watching, this guy wrote like one of the funniest sketches that was like a parody of my shot, where it was like a guy refusing to go back to the Pantages Theater to where Hamilton was showing because he didn't want to give up his parking spot. And how did it go, Owusu?
I'm not giving up my spot.
Yeah.
No, I'm not giving up this spot. You are shit out of luck, and I don't give a because I am not giving up my spot.
Love it.
It was so great. All right, moving on. Thor actor Chris Hemsworth is going to play professional wrestler Hulk Hogan in a biopic for Netflix. In your best wrestler voice, can you cut a promo as Thor?
Let me tell you something, brother. I may be the king of Asgard, but next Sunday, you better guard your ass, because I'm coming for you. I took down Thanos. I took down Hela. I took down Loki. You want to talk about friends? I'm friends with the Avengers. I'm friends with Captain America. I'm friends with Iron Man. Rest in peace. I'm friends with Scarlett Johansson. I'm friends with Spider-Man. I'm friends with Samuel L. Jackson. I'm friends with Brie Larson. I'm friends with General Thunderbolt Ross. And I'm friends with these 2 iron steel pythons that'll come at you.
It's a hard act to follow. Tommy gets the shot. I
defeated Hela.
Oh.
I defeated Loki. Can't even fool me. I don't know.
She's still going.
You know what? I'm gonna be doing this all night now. I'm gonna be like, this is gonna keep me awake. The bang's gonna keep you awake, Eric. This is gonna keep me awake. I'm just gonna be laying in my bed like, ugh. And then eventually I'm gonna come up with something really clever. And I'm gonna hop into the comments section.
Yeah, she's coming for you in the comments, brother.
That's the only place that could ever truly hurt me.
All right, well, I believe Erik Owusu is our winner of this episode.
Yay!
Do you have a wish that you'd like bequeathed to you?
I want to mail this to you so you can somehow incorporate him in an episode of Rogue Theory.
Yeah.
My plush pickle Rick that I love so dearly.
Actually, I can incorporate him now. Translated through the power of the internet as Mr. E6. Look at me. Whoa. Oh, existence is pain. And existence is pain for me. I immediately regret my decision. Well, that is it for this episode of Rogue Theory. Thanks to our guests, Tommy Bottomline Bechtold.
Bye.
Oh.
Eric, I'm worried
boy.
about you, buddy.
I just burped and I tasted every meal that I ate for the past week. It was a reverse Violet Beauregard from Willy Wonka.
Oh.
Angelica Trae, thank you for joining us this week.
Thank you for having me. Tune into the next new Rockstars Rogue Theory, where Eric actually injects Bang directly into his veins.
Yes.
Erik Owusu, thanks for coming back and joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me, and thanks for my W. My crown. I don't know what the W. Sure.
It's the King George crown, because we know how much you love Hamilton, and more important you to love it.
So much. So much.
Well, that is it for this episode. Don't forget to subscribe to the Rogue Theory podcast feed. Stay tuned for the YouTube channel for this and other shows. Follow us on Twitter at New Rockstars. I've been Erik Voss. You can find me on Instagram and other places, hopefully. I feel powerful.